2020 in order. And so first of all, I'd like to welcome everybody here this evening online. Hopefully this may be the last online meeting, although I'm going to say this, you know, in the future, we might have different kinds of online meetings just because it makes it easier. So I think that it's also shown us as a board that we are able to meet in various ways successfully. So far, I have not received any regrets this evening, but I'm going to start by reading the acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we're meeting on the traditional land of the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, which is represented by the communities of Saugeen First Nation and Chippewas of Nawash Unceded First Nation. We also think of the Métis Nation of Ontario, whose history people are well represented in Bruce and Grey counties. And as I said, I did not receive any regrets from any trustee this evening. I'm going to begin with our moment of reflection for the end of this year. It is a different feeling as we come together for our final board meeting of the school year. Usually at this time, we're at the Blue Water Education Center with a vibrant crowd in attendance to celebrate our awards of excellence. Even though COVID-19 has temporarily altered some of the regular recognition activities we look forward to, I would still like to acknowledge all of these individuals. This includes the amazing volunteers in our schools who contribute to the betterment of our public education system on a regular basis. Whether it is through their contributions to nutrition programs, student athletics, school councils, classroom activities, or some other initiative, their generosity is part of the fabric of our schools in Blue Water. The end of the school year is also bittersweet as we bid farewell to our retirees and, of course, our graduates. Whether you are a staff member winding down your career or a student who is about to begin your career path, we wish you every success and many productive years ahead. Our thoughts also extended to all our students, staff, and families who have persevered through what has felt like an especially long school year. We thank and applaud you for your resilience, support, and commitment despite some very challenging circumstances over the past several months. I would like to dedicate this evening's moment of reflection to all these valued members of our Blue Water communities in recognition of their effort and achievement this school year. We also send our wishes for a safe and enjoyable summer. Moment of reflection now. Thank you. Okay, I'm looking at we're now moving on to our agenda, that the agenda for the regular meeting of the board for June 16, 2020 be approved as printed. Can I have a mover for that, please? So I have Trustee Thompson and second Trustee Morgan. Thank you. All in favor? Oh, and no one's opposed, and that's carried. So I'm just writing some things in here, so just bear with me. Okay, there is a chat. Okay, and I see that Marilyn with her in the chat, so there you go. Okay. Next, that the minutes of the Committee of the Whole Board of June 2nd, 2020 be approved as printed. And can I have a mover for that, please? So I have a trustee Atkinson and trustee Lutz. Is there any
Jen?
error? Yes.
Did we do the May 19th minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
I thought, okay, so I was writing, so I have that. It was moved by trustee Thompson and seconded by trustee Morgan.
Okay, I thought we
And
were the approval of the agenda.
that was, okay. Now I am confused. So I had thought we had already done the agenda.
Okay, I might be off. I'm sorry.
So just in case I messed up, because, you know, this is online. So I know we did that for sure. And so let's vote on the approval of the regular meetings of the board. Okay, then I asked for errors and omissions, okay? And there was none. Okay, so approval of the regular meeting of the board minutes, May 19, 2020. Can I have a show of hands? Or,
sorry, Jen.
No problem. That's approved. Okay, next, I'm going to do the next one. That the minutes of the Committee of the Whole Board of June 2nd, 2020 be approved as printed. Can I have a mover for that, please? So I have trustee Thompson and trustee Morgan. So just a minute. Is there any errors or omissions or deletions that you've noticed in those minutes before you? Okay, I see none.
Can I ask a question about the business of arising from that minutes?
When we get to business for arising.
Okay, perfect.
Not a problem. I'm quite aware because I have you down there.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor? Perfect. And opposed? If any, nobody's opposed. That's carried. Now, is there any business arising from either of those minutes? Trustee Thompson. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm just aware that this is our last scheduled board meeting for this school year, and there's so much unknown before we arrive back in September for our next board meeting for startup of school in September. I'm just wondering if you, Director Murray, can outline for the trustees how information will be shared and any decisions that involving trustees will be made between now and September.
And go ahead, Director Murray.
Thank you. Through the chair. There's no doubt there will be information flowing throughout the summer as we get more and more clear about what the beginning of the school year might look like. We anticipate that there will be, through our regular trustee update process, as we have had to do in other summers, particularly the summer when we were moving back and forth around the physical and health education curriculum, if you recall, a couple years ago. So we will put out regular updates to the trustees to keep them in the communication loop and informed about the planning that's occurring. And I imagine if it is necessary to have a special board meeting closer to September, that certainly can be arranged as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Trustee Thompson, is that what you were looking for? Is there any other additional update to do with that?
No, that's excellent. It just feels, a little bit unusual to be ending a school year if we're heading on our summer vacation with so much unknown about what September will look like. So I appreciate that update. Thank you.
No problem. And your hand's still up, Trustee Thompson. Okay, good. Okay, so now we're going to move to reports, and I'm going to, so this is recommendations coming out of the Committee of the Whole Board for March 3rd, 2020. And I will be the mover on the following motion. It will be seeking a seconder. Okay, look at that. It's right before you. Thank you very much, Crystal. Okay, so the first one, moved by Trustee Johnstone, that the Blue Water District School Board approve the cancellation of a trip should the health and safety of students be at risk. I'm looking for somebody to second that. Thank you, Trustee Morgan. Is there any discussion concerning that recommendation coming out of Committee of the Whole Board? Okay, I see none. All in favor? And any opposed? I see that there. Okay, good. And that's carried. Next, moved by Trustee Johnstone, that the Blue Water District School Board approve BP 2820-D, Electronic Information Technology Access, as revised for system use. And can I have a seconder? Can I have a seconder for that, please? And I'm going to give it to Trustee McComb because I know that she's putting stuff in the chat. Is there any discussion concerning the motion before you? Okay. Okay, I don't see any.
Trustee Morgan has her hand up.
Okay, Trustee Morgan, go ahead.
Begging your forgiveness, Chair. I believe you read the number incorrectly. And I know that you have a problem with things like that. So if you would just read the BP number again.
Jen, you're muted.
Okay. Sorry about that, Trustee Morgan. I said that it's BP 2820-D, Electronic Information Technology. Is that what you have?
No, I actually have 2355.
I'm on number 2.
So am I.
Oh, okay. I see what okay. Okay, so I have. Okay, so the first, okay, this is the second motion, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
so,
The
okay,
first one
so
was the student one.
that's correct. And the second one is 2820.
Correct.
Okay, that's correct. Okay.
Okay.
Is that
Thank you.
okay? Not a problem. You know, as you can see, I mess up easily on this. So is there any other questions or conversation that needs to happen around this recommendation that is a motion? Okay, I see none. All in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Next, it's number 3 recommendation, that the Blue Water District School Board approve BP 2355-D third-party protocol as revised for system use. Moved by me and seconded by Trustee Thompson. Is there any further discussion around that? Okay, I see a hand. Trustee Morgan, no? Okay, the hand went down. Trustee Morgan, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Chair Johnstone, my flicker wasn't working properly.
Not a problem. I like that, your flicker. Okay, is there any other trustees who would like to comment on this? Okay, I see none. All in favor? Excellent, and it's approved and carried. Next, we're moving to number 4. That the Blue Water District School Board approve BP 6803-D school food and beverages as revised for system use, maintaining the current cyclical review schedule. Moved by myself and seconded by Trustee Atkinson. Is there any discussion concerning the motion before you? Okay, I see none. All in favor? And opposed, if any? And that is carried. Thank you very much. Okay, next we're going to recommendations of the Committee of the Whole Board for June 2nd, 2020. So during that board meeting, we received reports for information and discussion. One was the Special Education Advisory Committee for May 25th, 2020, the Parent Involvement Committee, May 26th, 2020, and the COVID-19 Blue Water District School Board response update. I'm now going to put the motion on the floor, and I'll be seeking a seconder. That the Blue Water District School Board received the Committee of the Whole Board meeting June 2nd, 2020 report for information. Can I have a second? I see Trustee Dawson. Is there any discussion concerning the motion before you? Okay, I see none. All in favor? And opposed? And that's carried. So thank you. Next, we're moving to B1C, and that is the Business Committee of the Whole report for May 19, 2020. I would like to invite Trustee Dawson to speak to the report. But first of all, I am going to put the motion on the floor, okay? That the Blue Water District School Board received the report of the Business Committee of the Whole Board meeting held on May 19, 2020 for information. Can I have a mover for that, please? Thank you, Trustee Dawson, and second. Trustee Lutz. And go ahead, Trustee Dawson.
Thank you, Chair Johnstone. The Business Committee of the Whole Board held a meeting on Tuesday, May 19, 2020. At that meeting, we received the preliminary budget and we had a look at that. We also received a report regarding rural and northern education funding allocation for the 2021 school year. And that is my report.
Thank you very much. All in favor? Okay. I'm missing some people. So has everybody voted? Okay. Okay, and that's carried, and thank you very much. Next, we're going to move the Business Committee of the Whole Board for June 2nd, 2020. First of all, I'm going to invite Trustee Dawson to speak to the report, and then we're going to put the motions on the floor. Go ahead, Trustee Dawson.
Thank you again, Chair Johnstone. Yes, we had a meeting on June 2nd of the Business Committee of the Whole Board. At that meeting, we discussed the 2021 budget. We received the report and a presentation detailing the revenue, expenses, and reserves for 2021. Total funding for the 2021 school year is $225,410,057. We received also 2 items for information. One was the 5-year facility planning strategy update, which was strategy to address the excess space and school conditions in among Blue Water facilities. We were given the opportunity to ask questions and reminded the report as a planning document, and just to provide a starting point for future discussion. We also received an a report regarding school renewal projects, looking at the capital funding received and an overview of the capital projects and locations for investment. Another report was a trustee honoraria subcommittee. The committee received an update further to the motion that was brought forward on March 3rd, 2020. The subcommittee, consisting of myself, as well as 2 additional trustees, namely Trustee K. Lutz and Trustee T. Atkinson, was struck to review the trustee budget and provide recommendations to the board. The committee also received an update regarding the Georgian Bay School Community Project and the Beaver Crest Community School update. Thank you, and that is my report.
Thank you very much, Trustee Dawson. So I'm going to put the first motion on the floor that the Blue Water District School Board approve the 2020-21 budget in the amount of $225,410,057 in revenues, $221,873,069 in expenses, and $3,536,988 in reserve contributions, with revisions as appropriate upon release of the 2020-21 grant for student needs. Can I have a mover for that, please? Thank you, Trustee Dawson, and Trustee Morgan is seconder. Is there any questions, commentary concerning the motion before you this evening? Go ahead, Trustee Dawson.
Thank you, Chair Johnson. I'd just like to say that we're pleased generally with the budget and the fact that we're able to have a surplus budget rather than a deficit. And I'd like to commend Rob Cummings and the staff for all the work they did putting the budget together over the last few months. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other trustees that would like to make a comment? Yes, go ahead, Trustee Thompson.
I would just like to echo what Trustee Dawson said. It's really quite remarkable that in a year that has been so uncertain, that we are in such a position to be able to be doing this at this time, knowing that we've got the flexibility to react to what the GSN is when it is finally released, and the uncertainty moving forward. So congratulations to all.
Excellent. Is there anybody else who would like to comment? I noticed that Superintendent Cummings has thanked you, Trustee Dawson, for all your kind words.
You're welcome.
I just also like to echo that everything's been so uncertain, and I mean, we keep on waiting to hear, you know, what the GSN is going to be, and it's not happening. And I was really glad that as a board and through the, you know, the overall direction of Superintendent Cummings, that basically said we need to move forward on this. So that we're set up and going in some direction. It's quite true that with our reserves, it does provide us with flexibility going forward with the uncertainty of how, you know, schools and transportation and all those things are going to work out for the coming year, and it's a great place to be. Is there any further comments, or I'm going to call the question? Okay, I see none, and I'm not saying all those money things again. So all in favor? And opposed, if any? See, Marilyn has said yes. Thank you, Marilyn. And that's carried. And thank you very much, everyone. It's a lot of money. I want to say what I find very humorous. I'm going to say this when I'm reading, you know, reading the numbers, is where, you know, we come down to at the very end, like $57 or $69 at the very end, and I go, wow, it goes right down to the last dollar. Okay, I'm going to move to the next motion, that the Blue Water District School Board appoint the chair of the business committee and 2 additional trustees, Trustee Lutz and Trustee Atkinson, to the Trustee Honoraria Business Committee of the Whole Subcommittee. Can I have a mover for that, please? Thank you, Trustee Morgan, and seconded by Trustee Thompson. Okay, is there discussion or commentary concerning that subcommittee? Okay, Trustee Dawson. You're muted.
I'd just like to suggest that we have the first meeting of that committee before the September Business Committee of the Whole meeting.
Okay.
That afternoon before the Business Committee meeting.
Okay, so you can work on that. And Trustee Atkinson. Now she has her hand up, but I'm going to see if she wrote something in the chat. Okay. Not seeing anything in the chat, so no, she has nothing there. That's fine. Okay. All in favor? And opposed, if any? Looks like it's carried. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we're moving on. Report of the Committee of the Whole in camera for June 16, 2020. I would invite Vice Chair Thompson to present the report from the Committee of the Whole in camera.
Jan, did we do the March 21st meeting date? The March 2021 meeting date?
Oh, where am I? Oh, no, you're right. Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm following on paper with all sorts of writing on it, so I apologize. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so March 2021 meeting date. So I'd like to invite the Director of Education, Director Murray, to speak to the report, but first I'm going to put the motion on the floor that the Blue Water District School Board change the regular meeting of the board from the 3rd Tuesday to the 4th Tuesday in March 2021. Can I have a mover for that, please? Boyd John. And second, Trustee Morgan. And go ahead, Director Murray.
Thank you, Chair. Due to the fact that the regular meeting of the board in March falls on March break in 2021, This often happens. We have a motion to move it out of the March break so that it will follow the March break in the fourth Tuesday of the month.
Okay, thank you. Is there any questions to the director through the chair? Okay, I see none. All in favor? And opposed, if any? And that's carried. Thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to go to the Committee of the Whole in camera, June 16, 2020, and I'd like once again to invite Vice Chair Thompson to present the report of the Committee of the Whole in camera. Go ahead, Trustee Thompson.
Thank you very much. We had a Committee of the Whole in camera earlier this evening, and there are 3 motions coming out of that meeting. So I will be moving these motions. I'll be looking for a seconder. First, that the agenda of the June 16th, 2020 Committee of the Whole Board in camera meeting be deemed to meet the legislative requirements for discussion in camera. Moved by myself, seconded by Trustee McComb. All in favor? And that is carried. Secondly, the Blue Water District School Board approve a 5 plus 3 year single source contract effective September 2021 for home to school busing. That's moved by myself and seconded by Trustee Atkinson. All in favor? And that is carried. And lastly, that the Blue Water District School Board received the Administrative Placements Update Report for information. Moved by myself and seconded by Trustee Morgan. All in favor? And that is carried. And a media release regarding the administrative placements will be distributed tomorrow morning, June 17th of 2020. Thank you very much. And that is the report from the Business Committee of the Whole in camera.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair Thompson. Moving to B3 on your agenda, is there any notices of motion coming before the board this evening? I see none. Okay. And the next to do, there's no committee establishments or appointments this evening. That was under B4. And then we're moving right down to reports for information. And next up is the Student Senate report. And I'd like to invite student trustees Holly Becker and Lucas Shigano to present the Student Senate report, and welcome.
Hi. Holly's actually not going to be able to be joining us for the report, so I'm just going to take it on myself.
Okay, go right ahead.
So I just wanted to start off by recapping our initiatives this year and kind of what we're doing going forward with them. And I just wanted to, talk about our ongoing initiatives with surveying the student body. We will be working into July right up until probably August 1st, just making sure that all of our initiatives come to fruition and they're where we envision them to be. So we still have to survey the student body, and we still want to create our plan and add it to our sustainable initiatives document. And we just want to make sure that all of our initiatives are in the sustainable initiatives document so that next year's Senate is fully oriented on what we did this year and feel confident in speaking fluently about the work that we did. We we just want to thank our entire Senate, for their hard work and dedication throughout this entire year. It means a lot to both Holly and I. The dedication that we've been able to see by the entire Senate. Specifically, we want to thank Joel for taking meeting minutes every single Senate meeting. We want to thank both Alex and Zach for their hard work with media design and public affairs. Alex has been doing a really wonderful job with the Instagram account and helping run that, and Zach has done a really wonderful job with media design. And we just want to thank the rest of the Senate as well, just for being so dedicated to the initiatives that we took on. We know that we threw a lot on their plates this year with I think we had 8 to 10 initiatives or something like that, and they really were very dedicated, and it was extremely heartwarming to see that. We also wanted to congratulate Sebastian and Victoria on their positions as next year's student trustees. And we want to, we want to say how confident we are in next year's Senate and the work that they're going to be able to do. Holly and I have both been on the phone with Sebastian and Victoria quite a few times, and we feel very, very confident in their ability to lead next year's Senate, and we're really excited to see the work they do. And we just wanted to, again, just reiterate how thankful we are for this year's Student Senate, for all of their hard work. We also want to thank Cynthia for allowing us to do all of this work, and for keeping up with us, and for keeping us grounded and making sure that all of our initiatives made sense. And they had a clear path, and we always knew where to go, and we just want to thank her for guiding us in that. We also want to thank the entire Board of Trustees for being so welcoming and for just having us this year. And that's really it. I'll take any questions now if you have them.
Is there any questions or comments to the Student Senate report? Let's see. I noticed that Trustee Dawson has said, great report, Lucas, and thank you. I wanted to say that. And of course, Director Murray also thanked Student Trustee Shigano. Thank you, Student Trustee Shigano, and the entire Senate and trustees. And I couldn't read the rest. It falls down on the chat, right? And it's gone. Okay, Trustee Thompson.
I just wanted to thank you. I know this is completing 3 years that you've been a student Senator Slant trustee with us, Lucas, and I'm fascinated to watch the growth when people join us to be a student senator. And I hope that you've learned lots. I've learned lots from you. And I wish you all the best in the future, and all of the other senators. It's been a very unusual year for you. My daughter is graduating from university on Thursday in a very unusual circumstance. Not what she expected at all, and certainly it's not been that for you guys. So I thank you for what you've accomplished, and I give you great pats on your back for dealing with what you've had to this past little while, and I wish you all the best.
Okay, is there any other comments? I'd also really like to add thank you, Lucas, and of course Holly and all the Senate, and of course Superintendent Lemon for helping out. I can't imagine the end of the year and the way it went here and how well you did. I think it would be in some ways very, very difficult. There's a whole part about that you get used to doing work in a certain way, and that you had to really not only change how you were involved in your education, but of course in this committee. So we really appreciate all your work, and on behalf of the board, I wish you all the very best in your endeavors in the future, and may you be really successful. Anyway, that was my
Thank you so
chat.
much. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, thank you.
Marilyn, I just wondered what Lucas and Holly were going to do next year.
I actually know that Holly is going to University of Guelph for social sciences, and I'm taking a gap year. I just want to make sure that I feel confident in what I want to go into, because that's a lot of time that I'll be spending dedicated to a specific profession. So I just want to make
I'll be
sure
right back.
that I am that I'm sure in my decision.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that.
That was funny.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess this is the whole real life part, right? I have no idea what's really going on, but I had to control somebody. Okay, thank you very much. And now we're going to move on to the staff reports, and it's the 2019 and 2020 student trustees and senators recognition. And I would like to invite Superintendent of Education, Lemon, to present the report. And I'm going to put the motion on the floor, and then Superintendent Lemon, you can speak. That the Blue Water District School Board receive the 2019-2020 Student Trustees and Senator Recognition Report for information. Can I have a mover for that, please? Trustee Thompson, and second is, I think I saw Trustee Morgan. Go ahead. And now go ahead, Superintendent Lemon.
Thanks very much, Chair Johnstone. It has been a real pleasure and a privilege to work with the Student Senate this year. They have been incredibly effective and efficient. They are a diverse group that bring different skill sets and talents to the table, but they have meshed those together to produce some very dynamic work. They spent a lot of time planning for the elections for the Student Senate for the 2020-21 year, to the point of preparing presentations, PowerPoints, going out to secondary schools, presenting those. And they, in fact, were able to encourage a number of candidates to run, so that, in fact, some schools actually had elections for the student senators, and they should be very proud of that accomplishment. This is a group that has long-term vision, and what they have worked diligently to do is to ensure that any initiative they undertook would have some longevity, that it would not be a one-shot 2019-2020 initiative, but that it would be something that could carry forward into the future. And I think that bodes well for all of them and for all of us as they go forward. And I have said this before, but I will say it again. When you work with students like this, and this is just one small example of students in Blue Water, we know the world is in good hands. So I would like to acknowledge and recognize the 2019-2020 Senate, and they will receive an email with their letter of recognition, and then they'll receive their hard copy in the mail. So from Bruce Peninsula District School, we have Zach Rogers, and Zach is with us online this evening. Georgian Bay Community School, Hannah Knight, who is not with us this evening. Grey Highlands Secondary School, Emma McKay. She was not able to join us this evening. John Diefenbaker Senior School, Jack Gecke, and he's not with us this evening. Kincardine District Senior School, Juliana Rutledge. She was not able to join us this evening. Owen Sound District Secondary School, Joel Zandvliet, and he is with us this evening, and he is the ultimate in note takers. Peninsula Shores District School and a student trustee, Holly Becker, who is not with us this evening. Peninsula Shores District School and student trustee, Lucas Shigano. Saugeen District Senior School, and she's not with us this evening, but Ireland Sawyer. Saugeen District Senior School, Angelina Barone, and she is with us this evening. And finally, from Walkerton District Community School, Alexandra Ostreicher, and she is with us this evening. And this is the dynamic group that has formed the Student Senate this year. Thank you, Chair Johnstone.
Thank you. Is there any questions or commentary from the trustees? Okay, I see none. I just like to thank, of course, once again, the student trustees and senators for all their work this past year, and of course, Superintendent Lemon for helping the students be to be very successful. So all in favor? Okay, and that's carried. Thank you. Next. Okay, so it's interesting. This is C2B, and it's the 2020 and 2021 student trustees and senators. And again, I would like to invite Superintendent Lemon to present the report. I'm going to put the motion on the floor that the Blue Water District School Board received the 2020-2021 student trustees and senators report for information. Can I have a mover and a seconder? So Trustee Dawson and Atkinson, and go ahead, Superintendent Lemon.
Thank you again, Chair Johnstone. This is the group that I suspect is going to rival the current Student Senate. They've got lots of bounce and energy, so I look forward to working with them as well. They were actually elected by their peers in February of this year, but they are, most of them, joining us at the table tonight. They did hold their election at their orientation meeting on April the 23rd, and they had a very dynamic election with some drama involved. So that just bodes well for what we should look forward to next year. So I would like to introduce you to the Student Senate for next year. From Bruce Peninsula District School, we have Natalie Rouse, and Natalie is with us this evening, so welcome, Natalie. From Georgian Bay Community School, Jenna Robertson. Jenna was not able to join us. From Grey Highlands Secondary School, we have Sam Groves. Welcome, Sam, he's with us. From John Diefenbaker Senior School, Alexis Hollister, and Alexis is with us this evening, welcome. From Kincardine District Senior School, Lily Hocko. Lily's here this evening, welcome. From Owen Sound District Secondary School, Sebastian Wall, and he has also been elected as student trustee. Welcome, Sebastian. From Peninsula Shores District School, Lily Gibbons. Welcome to Lily this evening. From Peninsula Shores District School, we have Mariah Schneidmiller, and she did send her regrets for this evening. From Saugeen District Senior School, we welcome Taylor Legg. From Saugeen District Senior School, we welcome Sunny Pion. And from Walkerton District Community School, we welcome Victoria Ernest. And it'll be a pleasure to work with this Student Senate for the 2021 school year. Thanks, Chair Johnstone.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions or comments for Superintendent Lemon concerning the upcoming Student Senate for 2020-2021? And Marilyn, I noticed you wrote yes, but is that for this particular one?
No, that was a little bit ago. I think it was seconding something.
Okay.
Something.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All in favor? Okay, and that has carried. And thank you very much, Superintendent Lemon. Okay, I got that. Okay, now we're down to communications. I have not received any correspondence for the board. And then next we move to D2, and that's communication and announcements. And that's to do with Ministry of Education and OPSPA or any of those things. I just wanted to mention here that this past week on Monday, the chairs of school boards have a meeting with Minister Lecce, but this week was canceled. We did send in 2 questions ahead of time on behalf of the board, and so we're really looking forward to resuming our meeting next, I guess, next Monday, and if and we get a response, of course, that will be shared with all the trustees and of course the administration of the board. So I just wanted to mention that. And I believe here too that Lana would like to speak under communications.
Could I speak, Jen?
Yeah, okay, so I had Alana, but go ahead.
I just wondered if I appreciated the reflection today, and I wondered if Director Murray might include that in one of her daily announcements, perhaps tomorrow, as a recognition of some of our volunteers and people that are involved in our schools.
Through the chair, absolutely, that if that's the will of the board, for sure.
So the trustees, if you could maybe just raise your hands to think that that would be appropriate to share with everyone. I see that we have the majority, so thank you, Director Murray, if you would share that, we'd appreciate it. I also noticed here that you have it on my notes that would like to speak under communications. So go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to take a few moments to express my sincere gratitude and thanks for a long and rewarding career in Blue Water District School Board. I would love to acknowledge every student, teacher, education worker, every professional, custodian, administrator, manager, supervisor, education center staff, superintendent, director, community partners, union presidents, parents, and trustees who I've ever had the pleasure to work with over the last 38 years, not 40 yet. But I know that that's not possible this evening. I would, however, like to mention a few people specifically. I would like to thank Herb Smith. Mr. Smith was a principal at Chesley District High School who hired me in 1982 and gave me a chance to start my career as a teacher in Bruce County. I will never forget how you changed my life. I'm eternally thankful for the opportunity to engage with remarkable students, and the Senate, this evening's Senate, is a perfect example of those remarkable students. I would especially like to acknowledge a few students I had in my first couple years of teaching who made me a better teacher. Richard, Trevor, Mike, Ron, Tyler, Shane, Lisa, Tracy, Sherry, Brian, and most of all, Betta. I would also like to acknowledge and thank the many amazing administrators I've worked with, especially my admin partners at various schools, Ernie, Marianne, Tim, Lori, Blair, and Todd. I am forever grateful for your support. I want to especially thank the executive assistants, the office professionals and custodians that I've had the good fortune to work with, who taught me more than they will ever know about being an effective leader. Particularly Sandra, Pat, Kathy, Darlene, Crystal, Pat, Jane, Vicky, Laura, Nancy, Bill, Peter, and Suzanne. I am grateful to some key mentors who guided me over the years and helped me to reflect on my practice. Words cannot describe how appreciative I am for their support and friendship. Thank you to John L. and John W., Ron D. and Ron M., Jackie, Michelle, Marnie, David, and Janet. The corporate services team, including Bev, Crystal, Brenna, Jamie, Sarah, and Mary Lou, are without a doubt the best of the best. No director could do their job without them. Thank you for all you do every day on behalf of Blue Water District School Board. I have worked with many trustees over the years. None have been more caring, compassionate, and dedicated to the students and staff in Blue Water District School Board than you. I would add Jean and Carolyn, Cindy, Linda, Marg, and Ron to that list as well. I have never been prouder to be a part of this board and have you as my employer. The role of school board trustees is not well understood or valued by many, but I want you to know that you represent everything that is great about public education: inclusion, caring, fairness, compromise, advocacy, equity, quality, and accountability. You are amazing people, and we are fortunate to have you representing our educational priorities in Bruce and Grey counties. Last but not least, I would like to thank my team, the superintendents, Lori, Cynthia, Paul, Wendy, and Rob. I am grateful for your leadership, support, advice, provocative, or should I say innovative ideas, and most of all, your friendship. We are a small but mighty team, and I could not have done my job without you. When I look back over the past 38 years, I see many changes, none more evident than this past year. I've had the good fortune to be placed in every role a teacher can have in K-12 education. I hope it has been evident to others just how dedicated I have been to Blue Water District School Board and our students. I am a lifelong learner, and I worked hard to be a competent, fair-minded, and inclusive teacher, an action-oriented instructional leader, and a forward-thinking, innovative professional. Only my students, colleagues, and the Blue Water District School Board staff can say for sure if I accomplished any of those things. As I've reflected on my career in Blue Water District School Board, I think I will miss the school visits and seeing the students and staff in action. The energy and interactions in schools are why we are all here, to make a difference in the lives of children. I will miss the intellectual stimulation of brainstorming, planning, researching, reading, learning new things, and debating with colleagues. Most staff don't see what goes on behind the scenes at the Education Center, and I think they would be surprised to see and hear just how much care and commitment system staff and leaders and trustees take to create the best outcome for students and staff. I will miss admin council meetings, the laughter, the debate, the challenging decisions, and the camaraderie. I look forward to spending more time with my family, gardening, baking, doing my hobbies, exploring Canada, and spending lots of time in the woods on the Bruce Peninsula. Thank you all for 38 rewarding years. I will be forever grateful for the opportunities I have had in Blue Water District School Board. Thank you. I tried very hard.
You did really well. I really want everybody to unmute themselves, and we're all going to clap so that it can be heard. Bravo. So I have a couple of hands up. So first of all, Trustee Dawson.
Yeah, Alan, I'd just like to thank you for your many years of service to public education. And my thoughts go back to 20 years ago when we first met in a committee. And I've watched you grow on the role over those years. And you certainly have been a director who's been exemplary in your service. Thank you so much. Enjoy your retirement.
Thank you very much, Jim.
And Trustee Thompson.
I just Elena, you've brought so many qualities to our board. I've had the privilege to only serve on the board for a couple of terms, but I do know when it works, when you bring qualities to the board and make it work, it works. And you've really made it work well. I feel very privileged that we've had the opportunity to have you as our director for the past period of time. I feel very privileged that the board is where it is to move forward. I'm excited to have Lori take us in the next stage, and I wish you all the very, very best in your retirement. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. So Alana, I'd like to speak. I want to say that I've known you, like Jim and Marilyn, for many, many years. And some of my very fondest memories are absolutely when we would be going between directors, and that you were always the person who was willing to stand up and become the interim director in between those times. And that you always said, and I always will remember that you said you always would be putting Blue Water first. And so I was extremely pleased when we finally changed you from an intern director to the actual director. I thought that only seemed not only fair, but it was such a perfect fit for us. As you say, the chair of the board, and of course with trustees, is that you brought a very, very special working relationship with trustees of our board. I want to tell you that when we went to an OPSPA AGM, and I've mentioned this before, I was absolutely surprised and shocked, but pleasantly surprised and shocked when you were totally engaged in the different things that were happening at the AGM, and I so very much appreciated. You also, and I'm going to remember this, is that you also did a presentation at OPSPA with the Vice Chair Thompson, and although I was unable to go there, I also thought that was a really wonderful and showcasing not only Blue Water, but the idea about, rural public education. I know that all of us around the table are very much going to miss you. And I'm also going to point out that Alana is going to be with us until the end of June, June 24th, and that then she's going on vacation until September 26th. So in fact, her retirement won't be starting until basically October. So I guess we can still be in contact until then, but I want to thank you for all your service throughout the years on behalf of the board.
Thank you very much, Jan.
I also see, and I'm just, okay, and I see Trustee Dawson, are you going to be speaking again? Because your hand's up.
I just typed a message.
Okay, I see Superintendent Wilder would like to speak, and welcome.
Thank you, Chair Johnstone. I was I thought that you should have the last word, but I couldn't go without just saying on behalf of our team how absolutely fortunate we have been to have Alana lead us this last bit of time. She is so extremely professional and humble, but did it in such a friendly way with us. We were a true team, and we haven't felt that in a while. And it just was, when Alana talks about the camaraderie around our admin council table, we all feel it. I mean, I do joke with our team that Wednesdays is my most favorite day when we can all get together and really debate and talk about how best we can support our students in Blue Water. Alana, you've been a phenomenal, phenomenal leader. We will miss you greatly. I am just honored to have been mentored by you, as the rest of the team feels the same. So thank you from all of us. Thank goodness you're a phone call or email away, because I know we will all be reaching out to you. But it's just been a true pleasure. You, I mean, we've been with you for quite some time, and it was so great when you were appointed as director. So thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you, Lori and team. I'll hold you to that, Marilyn.
Yes. I won't forget.
It is really true, and this is our last board meeting like this, and you know, unless we have a special meeting of the board prior to you going off. So thank you very much. So Trustee Dawson, I still see your hand up. Would you like to speak again? Oh,
I'm sorry, I left it up by error.
no problem. So thank you very much. We're almost done, and I did want to mention, because this is under conventions and out of district meetings, that the Ontario Public School Board AGM has been moved. It was usually in June. It's this time of year, but it's been moved towards the end of September. So our Board of Directors meeting is on the 25th and 26th. And then at 2 p.m., we're going to have our AGM by Zoom. Forms, that all the forms are there, and if you need any help, then please talk to me because I can help you through that. And the other thing is, if there's any policy ideas, we have till basically, I would say, the middle of August. So if you think there's a policy resolution that we have done with our board and is applicable provincially, then I can work with any trustee who wants to bring that motion forward. And even though we don't have a regular meeting of the board, we could always call a special meeting of the board. It's usually one agenda item, and so that we can send a policy resolution to the OPSPA AGM. So I'd like to say that. I'm now going to move to the sad, very sad trustee calendar of events. And as we can see, you know, there's not much there. And then I'm going to, oh, I see something up there. It is. So we already have, so you'll notice that the, you know, it says AGM is postponed. And that, of course, there is SEAC on June 22nd, and then it shows what's going to be happening in September, and that's a good thing. So it all starts back up again. Thank
Jen,
you for.
can I just add one thing?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I noticed that the Central Health and Safety Steering Committee was not noted on that, and there will be a meeting on June 23rd.
Thank you. Okay. We're now going to move to adjournments, so that the Blue Water District School Board adjourn at 8:07 p.m. Can I have a mover for that, please? And a second? Trustee Thompson and Trustee Morgan, all in favor? Okay, and that is carried. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for being so understanding. I want to say that that coming online and how we do our meetings has been, you could say, challenging, to say the least. But I'd also really like to thank Crystal, because one of the things that she does for me is everything. Normally I would have an agenda and motions are given to me by the director, but because we can't quite do that, what she does is she actually sends everything in like a, you know, about 8 pages, and I have to kind of read along to see where I am, and it is quite true. And I thank you, Trustee Morgan, for where I kind of I guess you could say miss my place and have to be. And thank you very much for your understanding. Have a great summer, everyone. Stay safe. Don't forget to social distance, wash your hands, and wear a mask when it's difficult to socially distance. Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Have a great summer,
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.
Good night.
Be well.